You have to hurry up and fix it because someone's going to ask you about your results. Or worst case scenario, you're making your results public. You have now compounded the difficulty of trading to unbelievable levels. A lot of people can't trade under that kind of pressure. It will prevent you from finding success because you're afraid of the outcome for the purposes of having other people's opinion placed on you. And a lot of you want that in the beginning. That's dumb. That's stupid. But what happens if you go into trying to mitigate that loss with half the risk that you put on, half the leverage? In other words, say you had a one mini S&P or NASDAQ contract on, and you took a $200 loss. Okay, $200 is $200, but it's not life-ending, right? What happens if you went down into micro lots? Say you did a series of trades using micros, 2 or 3 of them, instead of using one mini. So you're trading with anywhere between $2 to $6 per handle movement versus $20 per handle movement in the mini contract. But you take that $200 loss back using the smallest amount of leverage. Why would you not want to give yourself that historical record that you can do that? Now that flies in the face of everybody else's perspective. Dude, I'm not trading micro lots. Dude, I'm here trying to make money. Okay, are you still working? Well, don't ask me about that right now. I got time. I just started trading 6 years ago. It falls on its face, doesn't it? You want to learn how to make money? Trade with the least amount of money. The smallest leverage. You're going to see that. I'm going to be pushing the button in the micro contract chart this week. Teaching my son, do this, do this, do this. Some of you dumb fucks are going to sit there and say, oh, look at this. This trade didn't go here. Look, he sucks. That's not what this is about. This is for you to desensitize yourself. Getting out there, because if you're fearful of taking a trade, if you're fearful of missing the real fair value gap or the real order block or the real whatever, this is what you're supposed to be doing when you're not watching my live streams or watching my videos. What are you doing with your demo account? What are you doing watching price action? These are the things that you're trying to do. They're little laboratory experiments that gives you baseline data. That means this is what my first soiree, this is my first attempt in doing this. Not knowing much about anything, I'm going to do this exercise and I'm going to do it every single day. And in the results of each individual day and across the week, how many transactions did you do? What were the net results of it? How many times did you see a stop out? How many times did you see it go to target? How many times did it fail but move halfway to the target? These are all KPIs. These are all things that are going to help you build an enterprise mindset about your trading. It's not just simply, I got money to put down and let's pull the slot machine arm and see what happens. And then get on social media and parade like a dickhead. Like, look how smart I am. Dude, I'm fucking a predator. I'm a caveman. Look at me. Come at me, bro. I do that as a character. That's not my character in real life. My wife will tell you. My kids will tell you. That's not who I am. But I do it because I know it causes a lot of ruckus and people talk. And that's free advertisement, because if they're going to talk, people's going to come here. And then you probably found your way to this Twitter space because someone said something about me, and it probably wasn't a positive thing. It's probably something, listen to this guy, he's fucking crazy. He's bipolar, he's going to swing all over the place. And I use that to hook you, to bring you in here, to listen. And the people that are smart, they'll take the information and use it. Others can go off and fuck off, I don't care. But the point is, you have to have some kind of a baseline. And you have to guard yourself. And by refining your future self, by removing all the toxic stuff, filtering out all the bullshit that's going to be made available to you on social media, other influencers are going to give you opinions about things. Okay, that's their opinion. You didn't ask for it, did you? Some of you do. Some of you actually pay for it. You join other communities and they're bad-mouthing everybody. I badmouth every other trading discipline, okay? Unless I put a person's name on it, I'm basically saying that everything you're learning, that is not what causes markets to go up and down. But if you want to lie to yourself and say the last time you had a bout of gout or tennis elbow, you bought gold, it went up. That's your religion now. Your model is religion based. And that's what harmonic patterns is to me. Because you're believing something that has no bearing on why price goes up. You're believing something so subjective. I don't have subjectivity in my analysis, because old highs have buy stops above it. Old lows have sell side below it. And there's inefficiencies in price. Pray tell, how the fuck is that make believe? How is that in conjecture? You can't deny it. Anybody can look at the chart and see that. But tell me which trend line is the right one. Tell me what trend line is the right one on any given time frame. That's subjective. What's support and resistance level? Everybody's going to have a different support and resistance level. Everyone's going to come up with it. You get enough sample size of time frames, everybody's going to have something different. But everybody, if they understand what a fair value gap is, they're going to point to the same fucking candlestick. They're going to look at the same minor buy side, minor sell side, and then you have primary sell side, buy side. That's your dealing ranges. They're not up for discussion. They're not up for debate. There's a highest high and the lowest low inside the session. That's it. The previous day's high and low. Are they hiding that information from you? No. Previous week's high and low. Are they hiding that information? Are they changing it like forex fucking dealers? Everybody has a different high and low. Everybody has a different settlement price. Speaking of settlement price, do you see where NASDAQ closed on Friday? At the low of that buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that we were studying. You think that's fucking random? You think that that's just going to happen because sellers said, oh, we're not going to go any lower than that. Buyer said, I don't want to buy anymore. So then sellers balanced out and stopped it right at the low of the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that we were looking at on the live stream. And they said there's no algorithm. Come on, man. You got to wake up. The whole world's ran on algorithms now. Everything you watch on social media is getting piped to you based on what you have watched before. They're learning you. They're studying you like a candlestick, motherfucker. They got you pegged. They know where your high and low is, and they know how to run your stops. They know how to get you excited. They know how to make you spend money. They know how to blow your account. That's your bank account. Oh, I was just thinking about that. Fill in the blank. Because your little device you're listening to me in right now, it's listening to you. And every time you talk about something, I'm in the car, driving. I never take my cell phone with me anywhere, unless my wife's shopping. And then I'm usually on social media blasting it. I'm trying to zone out because she's asking me questions. What do you think about this? And you think I look good in this? And how about these? Which one you like better? I said, fuck, any question you ask me like that, I'm not going to give you the right answer. So if you like them both, just fucking buy them both. And then I'm done. I'm completely exempt. I can't be looked at like, oh, you asshole. You should like this one more. Why'd you ask me? If you like it more, why does it matter if I like it more? But that's a woman thing. And a guy thing is, keep me the fuck out of that. But to be a supporting, nurturing husband, I go along as the wallet with legs, okay? So I handed a credit card, and I'm basically distracting myself with social media. Chances are, if I'm going 100 miles an hour on social media, I'm probably in a climate where my wife is spending money, and I don't want to be there paying attention to that because I'm trying to avoid her. Because if she sees me in my phone, chances are she's not going to ask me the question. Like, okay, I ain't going to ask me. He's doing his thing. He's being ICT. He's ICT doing ICT things. Bro, we don't care about your wife. We don't care about all this stuff. Tell us how to make money. I am. I'm telling you how to have the right mindset. Because if you don't think correctly, if you don't manage stress, and here's where we're going to segue into it. So for those folks that want to do things on YouTube and you're recording this for the purpose of putting it on your YouTube channel, I hope you make money with it, by the way, because things are expensive. And allow me to get a drink here for a second. This is the part where we go into how to conquer and subdue anxiety and stress and living with stress. I just gotta get a little sip here. Peek what time it is. I've been going 2 hours and 15 minutes. Not bad. About 2 hours. It didn't feel like 2 hours. I'm going to try to get this part done in an hour. I know I usually say this kind of stuff and it ends up going for a long, long time. But Caleb's not feeling well today, so I have to check on him and see how everything's going with him in terms of, I think he's sick with something, I don't know what it is. But if you are a person of faith, if you could keep him in prayer, I'd be wonderful. I'd appreciate that. But the human body is wonderfully and fearfully created. And we have the amazing superpower of regeneration. Every 7 years, everything in our body, just about, not everything entirely, but everything has been completely replaced in 7 years. Your skin cells are completely different. The surface of your bones are changing. Your eye, it changes. Like now, because I'm 52 years old, I'm experiencing the hardening of my eye lens. It doesn't have the flexibility as it did when I was a younger man. So my eye prescriptions are going up as I get older. And that's just a normal thing that happens when people get older. So you want to preserve your eyesight and you do whatever you can to protect your eyesight. I'm convinced that iPhone was one of the big contributing factors to why my vision deteriorated, because it wasn't until after I bought my first iPhone and used it a lot. And when you first got it, they gave you a warning that you had to acknowledge that you know that looking at this device will have adverse effects on your vision. You probably never noticed it, but it was in there. And every time you get these phones, if you read it, it'll tell you. It's warning you, just like smoking cigarettes. This is going to cause lung cancer. This is going to cause heart disease. But yet people still pay it. They buy it. So I don't like to use my phone unless I have to be out and about and I know I'm going to be in an environment where I'm going to distract myself. Otherwise, my phone stays home. But what I was saying to you earlier is an algorithm in your phone is constantly listening to you so that it can influence you. And when you see these things pop up that you were talking about, like when I was talking about generators, one of my students emailed me and said, hey, look, we just had an experience with a hurricane or storm. And I know you mentioned in the past, what generators do you like? Well, I went on the Amazon and I took a screenshot of it, not an affiliate link or anything like that, and I sent it to her and I said, this is a good one. It uses very low fuel. It's the Honda little red one. I don't know what model number it is, but it does well. It runs a long time on a little bit of gas. And because I was talking about it with her in the car, her phone picked up on what I was saying. And then now she gets all these advertisements offering her generators. So if you don't understand that the market is a great big algorithm that is enticing people to buy and sell for their benefit, not yours, then I don't know how else to convince you, because everything that we do is influenced by algorithms. Everything. And it's not a stretch of the imagination to see how when electronic trading became electronic and open outcry in the pits was done away with, that's why open outcry pit traders don't do very well, because the advantages of having that stressful run of not knowing what the market's going to do and they just have a shit day. But when everybody's dogpiling in and there's a lot of orders going into the marketplace, they catch the momentum by following on. Okay, they see the orders. Just like when you understand how to read buy side and sell side, they know where the highs and lows are for the intraday. They're writing it down on a little scratch pad. This was the highest high it went to in the last hour. This is the highest high it went to on the day so far. So when the market starts to run towards that high, chances are, what's it going to do? It's going to pop the high. And a lot of pit traders, that was their thing. And they had the advantage of seeing the influx of all the real orders coming in, not something that's fluffed up with book map, level 2 data. All of that stuff can be scammed. But when they're in the pit and they see actual tickets being ran down to the floor, they have an inside edge of being a momentum trader. But now, because they don't have that anymore, they have the stress of now being forced to look at a chart. And that's why they don't do well. It's a great big divergence between what they're accustomed to having faith in and what was their model of just was piggyback. Let's all dogpile on what's going on right now. That's usually what was going on in the pit. But they don't exist anymore. So that's a source of stress for that type of person. you, as someone that's coming up in this industry now, if you're brand new, you have all the advantages today that wasn't afforded to people like me and before me. I started November 5th, 1992. That's when I first started being a trader. I was being influenced by my uncle at 14, talking to me, telling me, I would hear him, and I didn't know he was laying the seeds that eventually would become who I am today, but he didn't teach me how to trade. He didn't know how to trade. He was like a conduit. I think God basically was using him to constantly push it, because this is my whole life. That's my whole purpose here. I'm convinced of it. But it wasn't an easy path, and I had lots of stress. And I want to take you back to 2001 for a second and kind of paint the picture. I was on Merc, which was MIRC. It was an internet relay chat. We didn't have social media like we have today. Like if you wanted to be online, you did either bulletin boards, message boards, basically. Think of like the early stages of America Online. And then if you weren't on a platform like America Online, you used internet relay chat, which were like chat rooms today. Okay. And honestly, that was way better than social media today. Social media today is afforded people the ability to really be horrible to one another. The worst thing that could happen back then was someone cuss you out. Okay, whatever, big deal. But now they could take your image, your photo, Photoshop it, make you look fat, make you look skinny, make you look toothless, make you look homeless, make you look like a female when you're a male, or vice versa. And that's just toxic. And I wish that wasn't part of what social media is today, but I understand it's meant to divide us constantly, and that causes stress. I have one of the biggest reasons for being an angry person, if I was insecure, because of the things that people put on the internet about me that are not true. I don't have any stress about those types of things.